So say a little bit more about, it might be a time that you shouldn't preach.
I think I have watched people lose people or go through traumatic events and keep right on plummeting through. And I've seen that to their own detriment.
Yes.
And that they were doing it for the people, but they were hurting themselves.
Yes.
And there are times where we need to say, I need to just sit this one out. I need to get someone else to help me in this situation. And I think that's necessary for the preacher. Self and soul care for the preacher, I think is something that we're now talking about in this generation. But years ago, it was like, you gotta keep going, no matter what. Right. You have to keep going, you have to be faithful to God. But now I think we're understanding, no, God wants to use us in the states that will be helpful to us also.
And then too, in a broader sense, is that we're not the only ones who can bring the word. It's that God has many vessels. And so how do you build enough relationship that you can invite someone in your life at that point? So one of the analogies I used to use when I was pastoring is that the vulnerability that it goes with bringing in a guest. It's like you bring them in like someone who cooks for their family, a mother or a father cooks for their family, and they bring in a guest cook, and then they sit at the table and eat like everybody else. It's a tremendous amount of vulnerability that goes into. And so when I would invite you, I'm trusting you to cook for the family.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right? So how do I build these relationships both in the congregation, because sometimes God has preachers in the congregation who could help you get through. And then sometimes you got friends and that you could invite in, and not seeing preaching as just this singular thing that I must do as if I'm the only, or I alone can fix it in the great language of today. No, maybe God can drop a word in somebody's heart, and you sit there on the front row and receive. You the pastor.
Wow.
You the bishop.
Wow.
But you sit there and receive.